So yeah, I'm serious, you guys. You really should try your own game in VR.
Yeah, I think it's worth a go. We can give it a try,
It's
yeah?
really good. No, trust me, it works really, really well. Yeah. Okay, so, here, first thing you gotta do, download Flawless Widescreen.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, I think it's worth a go. We can give it a try, yeah? Okay, cool.
Scroll down until you see the Evil Within. Now move the FOV sliders all the way to the right, maximum
I don't know.
FOV.
What do you guys...
Yeah, I think it's worth a go. We can give it a try, yeah?
Anyone on scene respond.
I thought this was a third-person game, no? What's happening?
184, be advised. Some problem reaching on Beacon Memorial.
What's happening? Okay.
Start your game. Now, we want to get this in first-person VR, so you need to have a Bethesda.net account in order to do this.
Okay, so you can get first person with the Bethesda.net?
Okay. So it's actually viable. We can play this with a corrected FOV.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I love VR. I love Evil Within, so let's give it a go. What do we got to lose? Okay, go to the options. Make sure they look like this. Yeah, that's it. Now, if you want to just play it in first person with really good FOV, you're good to go. Good to go. But if you want to play in VR, go ahead. Look in the description, get Vorpx Beta. Go to Cloud Profiles and search the username DU1G0. And look for Evil Within first person.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should give this game a try again in VR. What do we do?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
That's it. Import that profile and you're ready to play in VR.
Okay. You go around the corner, make sure Flawless Widescreen is set up.
Detective, you got it. Let's go.
You go to the right. Make sure our system settings are ready and get Vorpx
Oh,
downloaded.
you got it, boss. Okay, let's go.
I'll get the HMD on. Let's go.
What's up, player? Yeah, I'm living there talking head. Come to you live at Tycho, VRified Games. How we doing, Tycho?
Hey Ed, how's it going?
Shit, homie, I'm alright. Took a week off there, we recharged, re-energized, we're back into it.
Yeah, we're back into it, but now the pressure's on to get this ready before Halloween, and it just might not be, because it's a bit more complicated than I thought. But anyway, back to work.
No blood or shell casings out here.
Yeah, back to work, motherfucker, lazy ass, taking a week off. Alright, so what's up? What are we doing?
Well Ed, today we're looking at The Evil Within.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A good friend to the channel, Paradise Decay, recently put up a video of Evil Within 2 using Reshade. Now this game was free on Epic, but the week prior to that, The Evil Within, the original game, was also free on Epic, so I managed to pick up both games.
Smells like blood.
All right, stay sharp. We're gonna check it out. Don't let anyone else through this door.
I can be an extra set of eyes.
We don't know what's happened here. You're a backup.
Now, sadly, what Paradise Decay didn't realize is there's a first-person mode also, so he didn't get a chance to try it out. So I thought, well, I'm not going to regurgitate his video. I'm not going to do Evil Within 2, I'll do Evil Within 1.
Did you hear something?
Many people swear blind that the original Evil Within is superior to Evil Within 2. I'm kind of on the fence. I like them both for different reasons, but
Someone alive in here.
anyway, I digress. So we're going to look at Evil Within, the original game.
Okay, so, what's the story with this game, man? I don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, I know you know nothing about nothing. Okay. So here we go. The Evil Within. It's actually the brainchild of Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil. Now, when he was spearheading The Evil Within, he didn't really want to do survival horror anymore. He was kind of sick of it. Okay, well, not sick of it, but he felt it became very formulaic. Like, every survival horror game kind of had the same tropes. Players knew what to expect. They weren't scared by it anymore. They knew how to play the game. It had become something easy and mundane for players.
Are you injured? What happened here?
Can't be real. Impossible. Rubik.
I've got him. The security cameras might tell us something.
Not only that, But his brainchild, Resident Evil, had seemed to have shifted into a more action-focused horror kind of gameplay, which he didn't appreciate. It didn't feel like his vision for what survival horror should be anymore. So, okay. When he was spearheading The Evil Within, he thought, okay, well, what was survival horror all about originally? Now, the idea was there was limited resources and dangerous enemies and clunky controls. Now, those three things together were put there by design, on purpose, to make the player feel vulnerable, to make them feel helpless.
What the hell?
That was the whole point. And over the years, as it became formulaic, players knew what to expect. They knew how to conserve their ammo, they knew how to combat the enemies, etc. So it became mundane for them. And then the shift, of course, went to a more action-focused kind of gameplay, which was popular in the West, which Shinji understood, liked, but didn't feel that this was survival horror any longer. Now I'm talking mostly about the Resident Evil series, how it shifted from survival horror to more action horror from Resident Evil 4 onwards. Now, it was course corrected with Resident Evil 7, anyway, but that's a video for another time. So, back to The Evil Within. When you consider the reason for those gameplay elements in survival horror originally were to make the player feel vulnerable and helpless, that's what he wanted to recapture. But he had to go back to the drawing board because the formula wasn't working anymore, okay? So he had to think about it. How can I make the player feel helpless and vulnerable in a new and exciting way? And it hit him. Hide and seek. Basically, he's going to make it so, yes, you still have resources, you can still combat the enemies, that's all present and correct, as you would expect from a survival horror and from an action horror title. That's all still there. But he's going to put you in situations where you're vulnerable, where it's better to run from the enemy, better to hide from the enemy. And he created this new version of survival horror, an invigorated version, which was later copied in games like Home Sweet Home, games like Alien Isolation, even games like Granny and Evil Nun kind of took the same formula of running, hiding, and evading the enemy rather than full-on facing them in combat. But as The Evil Within was one of the first to try this, and tried very, very, very well, you still had elements from the original survival horror blueprint. So you still had resources, they were limited, you could still combat your enemies, so it was a nice balance between the two gameplay styles. You had the old survival horror / action horror mixed with this new survival horror that Shinji Mikami was developing, and what you ended up with was The Evil Within. Now, Evil Within's influences you can see a mile off. You can tell Shinji Mikami was channeling Silent Hill here. Obviously, he really liked that series and had a respect for it. Silent Hill itself being more psychological horror as opposed to survival horror, but the tropes and elements were there, so they shared a commonality. And Shinji Mikami obviously recognized that the psychological horror aspect of Silent Hill really resonated with players, really got into their heads. It was something that made them uneasy, unnerved, and was definitely something he was going to incorporate with The Evil Within, and incorporated he did, to great effect. Now, hindsight being hindsight, after playing Evil Within and Evil Within 2, you can tell that Shinji Mikami had really pulled back, really played it safe with the original game, because when it comes to Evil Within 2, he goes balls deep in there and his batshit crazy ideas are at the forefront, but in the original game, they're more subdued, they're in the background, they're there, but I think it's a healthy mix of East and West in terms of gameplay and storytelling sensibilities. This may be why a lot of people prefer the original over the second one, but I digress. We may get to the second one at some point. That is absolutely worthwhile, and it works in almost the same way as it works here.
Okay, man, so you're saying The Evil Within, yeah, it's like a Resident Evil type game, yeah?
Well, it is and it isn't. It's by the same creator, so it shares some DNA, but it is quite different. It was a third-person game, it was over the shoulder, kind of like Resident Evil 4 in terms of how that played, but it was more evade and run as opposed to run and gun, and they share elements. Of course they share elements, it's the same guy, but he wanted to do something very different, so he did.
Oh, third person. Oh, man. Damn.
Ah, no. Hold your horses, Ed. Although the game was originally released in first person, the Windows Store version, the PC Game Pass version, received an update. Okay, it received better visuals, and it received an FOV slider and a first person perspective built directly into the game.
Oh, man, cool. But it was only for the Game Pass version?
Originally, yes, but now it's also available on the Epic Store version. I don't know about the Steam version. I can't comment on it. I've never touched it. But these elements that were brought over to the PC Game Pass version are also present and correct in the Epic Store version. The only thing you need to do is have a Bethesda.net account already. If you don't, just make one. It's no big deal. And you'll be able to use these extra options.
Oh, cool. So we can play the game in first person.
Yeah. Now, to get better FOV, I would recommend downloading Flawless Widescreen. There are other options out there like Cheat Engine, etc., where you can get an FOV slider in there, but the Flawless Widescreen implementation was perfect for us here. It just seemed to be dialed in just right for us to get a good FOV here with Vorpx. Now, sadly, the Vorpx profile is not Geometry 3D. Now, for those who don't know, Geometry 3D is the best form of 3D, in my opinion, with Vorpx because it allows 6 degrees of freedom and it is a true representation of 3D within the game world. Now, what is available is Z Adaptive and Z Normal. Now, if you've played Reshade, it's pretty much the same idea. It uses a depth buffer map to create 3D. It can be hit and miss, but for this game, thankfully, it's more hit than it is miss. The 3D is on point here. It is fantastic. And with the beta version of Vorpx, now I don't know if this is a placebo effect or if I'm going crazy, but there seems to be slight positional tracking also, which wasn't there before with Z Normal and Z Adaptive games. I can lean left and right and I get positional tracking. Now I can't go forward and back or up and down.
Where's the exit?
But I can lean left and right, which is something that wasn't possible before, so that makes me happy. It's a bit more immersive. It's nice to be able to lean around corners and see if enemies are coming for you. So, all in all, it's a very good Vorpx implementation. I can't call it sick stuff, but there is positional tracking. So, there it is. And if you guys want it, it's on the cloud under our profile DU1G0. Go ahead, download it, play it. Let me know what you think. So, yeah, Ed, I guess we're going to leave it there.
Well, yeah, leave it there, man.
Alright. So I guess we're going to leave it there, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, queries, any critiques, put them down below. If indeed there are any games you'd like us to look at VRifying in the future, put those down below and we will presumably get back to you eventually. You can also follow us on TikTok for our adventures over there, which are basically condensed versions of what we do over here. And yeah, follow us on all social medias. All links will be in the descriptions, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you there also. Alright, VRified Games out.
Yeah, VRified Games. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Yeah, let's go. 1 week off. Let's get back into it, man. Let's go.
Find myself within darkness twisting me around. There is nothing I can do. This world doesn't spin, it just turns itself